Welcome to Secrets of Stand-Up Comedy. I'm Dick Williams. I'm going to tell you everything I know about stand-up so you can be a better comic. I want to talk about performing because if you break stand-up down, it really is two parts. You have writing, you have performing. If you're really good at writing, you can succeed. If you're really good at performing, you can succeed. If you put both of those together, you're really good and master both of those, you could be a superstar. I talk a lot about writing because that's always been my strong suit. Let's talk about performing a bit. Here's what I highly recommend on the performing side. If you can do this locally, definitely do it. Take an acting class. If you can't find one, go on YouTube and watch a bunch of videos about it and do the exercises. But you wanna focus on theatrical acting, Broadway, real big. Because when you're on a stage, the goal is to, do very large performance venues. You have to go bigger. Now, you can be very subtle on stage and have it be funny. I tend to do that. But the bigger you go, the more reaction you're going to get. Think about all the viral clips of comics you've seen from their specials. I mean, look at Cat Williams. His stuff is just so funny. The material and the performance. I'm going to do a demonstration for you now. Just saying it with a little bit of something on it, and then really performing it. And I'm not even going to do stand-up. I'm just going to do song lyrics. Okay? Are you ready? Are you excited? See some of my acting chops? All right. Me, 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 me. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. But the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Now that could be funny with certain material, or I can do it this way. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. And the very next day, you gave it away? Now, this year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. That wasn't meant to be funny. It was meant to show you two extremes. Here's the assignment for you. Take your phone or whatever you record yourself on, go into an empty room in your house or your apartment or your hovel. Record yourself doing a bit or doing your whole act. Go as big as you possibly can. Just really like the physicality, the vocal intonation, the volume, the loudness, the facial expressions. Really get it contorted and as much as you can put on it, as much as you can do. Go as big as you possibly can. Wait an hour. Watch it back. And you'll probably realize when you watch that tape, even though you felt like you were going so big and so out of control, you may have even broken out in a sweat because it's unusual for you, that you're about 50% of your perception. So after you watch it, set it all up again and go 2 times as big. And see if you can get yourself to go even crazier. Now, this may not be your style. It may not be how you like to perform, but try it. You have to try things out. If you're stuck in your career, what's it going to hurt you to take an hour and do this? Nothing. You might actually have fun doing it. Because that's all this is. You're writing jokes, you're telling jokes, and people are laughing, and they're coming up to you afterwards telling you how funny you are. At least do stuff like this to get better. At least do stuff like this so you can fly in that private jet one day. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you find the channel again. We're coming very close to 100 videos. And once I do that, I'm going to transition to showing you me starting off from the beginning again. Me going out to open mics and doing all these exercises, because I can only tell you so much. I now have to show you. And you'll be able to follow along to see if I succeed or fail, and all the successes and all the failures that go along with it. What the reality is. You'll get to see me do stand-up, which I've said this before. In the beginning, I'm probably going to suck. I have the writing down, but I haven't performed in probably a year and a half, and I was even rusty then. And I was also on this medication for the last 10 years. I was on Adderall, which I'm not on anymore, thankfully. And so when I started doing stand-up again, it was weird, because they do studies where if you're trying to learn in a classroom setting to prepare for a test, if you study while you've been drinking, you have to take the test while you're drinking, and then you'll do a certain level. If you are sober studying and sober taking the test, you'll maintain that level. But if you're drunk while you're learning and sober while you take the test, or reverse, it messes you up. And so that's what it was like for me on stage. So I'm willing to risk this. I'm willing to look bad in front of all of you, because ultimately that's the only way I can do it again. I can't go back and do jokes that I've been doing forever. It's boring to me. And I've rested on my laurels, and I've coasted way too long. So if I want to have success, more success than I've had in the past, I need to create a whole new act and pay my dues again. I don't have any cachet. People aren't going to be rushing to book me at the Improv. I don't even know if they'd remember me there in LA. It's a whole new crop of comics. I've been gone from Los Angeles for 11 years now. So I have to humble myself and realize that I have greatness in me, but the only way that comes out is by chiseling away at all the marble to get that sculpture out. All right, that's enough waxing poetic. Poetic waxing and taxing. I bet you I can make you laugh with one word.